Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Looking for Love in All the Wrong Dust Jackets, a show where three cool ladies talk to you about everything in romance, whether that's books, movies, TV shows, video games even, whatever we like. My name's Liz.
I'm Danny.
Wiggles.
Today, we are talking about Muscles and Monsters by Ashley Bennett. But before we get into it, I gotta just warn you, like we always do, we're crass, we're gonna swear, we're gonna talk about all the sexy times or things like that in these books. So if that's not your jam, now is a good time to skedaddle.
Yeah,
Bye-bye
apparently
now.
we're too spicy for TikTok, so eat a dick.
All right then, Wiggs. Tell me how you really feel.
Not good. I put effort into that shit.
Well,
Motherfuckers.
Besides getting rejected by TikTok, what else have you guys been up to? Like what you reading and watching and jiving to?
So I finally finished the Stay a Spell series. I've finished Grim and Barrett by Juliet Cross. It did not live up to the rest of the books.
Oh, sad panda.
Yeah, it was a 2 for me. I don't know if this is like a trauma response or something, but like I do not trust people who act like the main character of this one did. Those people who act like everything, they're so sweet and sunshiny. I'm like, liars. If you're not like a little bit grumpy, you're not to be trusted.
I'm sweet and sunshiny.
You're
And
also a
plenty
little bit grumpy.
I am a bit dark and twisty. That's
Yes,
true.
It's required that you have to have a little bit of that. How are you walking around this world, as fucked up as it is, and you aren't a little bit grumpy? I don't believe you. I can't trust you. So yeah, I did not like that character at all. I know I'm like probably in the minority here. It was like a candy apple, but the apple was rotten on the inside. So there you go.
Okay. Well, I dove right into the second book of this series from the book that we're talking about today,
Oh.
which is Tentacles and Triathlons.
Yeah, I bet you like them tentacles.
I did. It's a gay romance, and I really enjoyed it. It is the main character's brother's story.
Oh, the one who's like anti-monster?
Uh-huh.
Interesting.
And he dates a kraken. It's
I
pretty
bet-
good. It's
I
pretty
bet
good.
he'd be cracking that back.
Did you say cracking that dick?
back,
cracking that
he
back.
said.
Oh, okay.
Cracking that dick sounds
I
horrific.
know. That's what I heard. And I was like, what? We need to talk about what you're doing on your own time with people and dicks. Anyway, moving on.
Don't worry about it.
That what you got, Danny?
Yes, that's what I got.
All right. Per usual, I got a few. So I finally finished Love Light Farms by B.K. Borison. It is a friends to lovers fake dating, quote unquote, holiday romance set on a Christmas tree farm. And it was fine.
So it's like a Hallmark movie, but a book?
I suppose so. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fine. I picked it up because I thought, well, maybe it would be a good holiday book for us. And like it's set on a Christmas tree farm and they reference, I guess, Christmas things now and again, but it just didn't give me a holiday vibe.
Oh.
I was like, you could literally just change Christmas tree farm to like vineyard and it would be the same book.
Oh, see, if you're gonna base it on a Christmas tree farm, like you got to Christmas the fuck out of that. Like
Right.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. If you don't want to do a Christmas romance, that's fine. Do a winter romance. That's totally fine. But like, don't make it sound like it's going to be a Christmas romance.
And maybe other people would have gotten more out of it because they do some decorating. But again, it just never had the right magic to me. So it was like a 3.5 is what I rated it. And then I also read The Gargoyle's Captive by Katie Roberts, which is the third in her Deal with a Demon series. The first one is the Dragon's Bride one that I think we both have read.
Uh-huh.
Did you find that those gargoyles were deceptive?
No, there was no deception here.
God damn.
Sad panda. We do love Deceived by the Gargoyles.
Was there tail action though?
I don't remember tail action.
God damn it.
God damn it.
So here's my problem with this book. I liked the characters. I liked the premise. I liked a lot of the story beats. But this book is a short novel. It's 192 pages, according to the Goodreads.
Mm-hmm.
I read it in an afternoon. So that's a fast 192 pages. It needed at least another 100 pages. Like, I've been noticing this a lot with some of these short novels we read where they're not creating stories and premises that fit a short novel. They take a story and a premise that should be 300, 350 pages and then just cut out all of the, like, not filler, but the pieces that build the tension and flesh out the characters and all the stuff that makes me, like, get really, like, in it. So it was just fine.
Yeah, I'm not much of a short book gal. I will say, referencing all the way back to a book I mentioned a long time ago, the Viking one.
It was like The Viking's Bride or something?
Something like that, yeah. Like, that one was very short. It was maybe half an inch thick. Like, it was tiny. And it, like, used its space wisely. And I think that that's kind of the thing to think about. It's like, if you're going to write a book that is 150 pages, what is required to tell your story in 150 pages?
Yeah.
And make sure you're actually telling that information and not, wasting people's time.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a good read if you want something that's quick and fun. Again, I liked the characters. I liked a lot of the choices she made in the book. I just felt, cheated. And I have one more thing, which is not a book, but it's a TV show based on the book. And I watched the first season, which I believe is the only season that is out, of AMC's Interview with the Vampire.
Oh, is it
as
good?
as it looks?
Really liked it. I watched it in like 2 fucking days.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Measuring it by the book, how did it feel?
See, that's hard because I haven't read that book since I was in high school. And high school me did not have the mental capacity to really understand what she was reading, I think.
The things we were reading, dangerous.
Yeah. I read like the first 4 or 5 books in the Vampire Chronicles by Anne Rice when I was in high school. Not appropriate. Nay.
I'm rereading them for that reason because I'm like, did I actually like them or was I like trying to be edgy?
See, and like I didn't read those until later when I was in college. But what I did read at a very inappropriate time in my life was I read fucking It in middle school.
Inappropriate.
I should not have read that book in middle school. I read a lot of Stephen King in middle school. I'm like, I look back at that now and go, maybe shouldn't have done that.
Remember that time where people were just happy for us to be reading?
Yep. Regardless of what it was.
Yeah. And now they're all like, ban books and whatever. And it's like, bro, I remember a time where they were like, what are you reading? Oh, just like literally people being murdered.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been up to.
I did want to ask, which do you like better, the movie or the TV show now?
Oh, so the first season, a quick spoiler if for some reason you don't know the plot of Interview with the Vampire at this point. The first season goes up until Louis and Claudia leave Lestat and go to Europe.
So it doesn't make it all the way through.
No. They really fleshed out a lot. And the thing is I can't remember what's from the book and like what is just stuff they added. I know they changed Louis' backstory, which I think makes sense. And it gave him a lot of motivation. So as of right now, I think I like the show better. But I think that's probably just because it's new and exciting.
Sure.
And takes more time with the characters than the movie does.
You guys are going to kill me. I've never seen the movie.
Well, you've read the book, so you're fine.
I have read the book.
It's
yes.
fine. It is like not having watched The Craft. You're like missing out on a cultural moment.
I've also not seen The Craft.
You've never watched The Craft?
No.
I had to do that with Pappy like last Halloween or maybe even
we gotta
Halloween
watch
before.
The Craft.
It was The Craft is so good. Okay, let me rephrase that. It's pop culture or like that kind of good,
Fair enough.
It's very like if you know it, it's like iconic. And it's another one of those where all the girlies wanted the aesthetic.
Fair enough.
That wasn't the language that was being used at the time, but that was definitely like, yeah. And it's another one that like it seems very it doesn't seem that way. It gets diminished as being girl rage, right?
Yeah.
And it like talks about topics in such a very female oriented lens, especially for the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you gotta watch it.
Okay. All right.
I got fun
Duly
facts
noted.
about that movie too for days.
I'm sure
Maybe
you
we'll
do,
have
but
to do it
that's
next
not
year.
what we're here for.
No, that is not what we're here for.
Gotta get on track, y'all.
All right, let's talk about Gym Bros and Lady Hoes, or Monsters and Muscles. Muscles and Monsters. One of them three. Pick your flavor.
So why don't I'll do a rundown on the book. So basically, Muscles and Monsters is a romance novel set in a smallish town, and basically the world has now integrated so that monsters, they always kind of knew monsters existed, but they integrated them into normal lives. They are part of the community, part of the government and everything. And so the main characters are Tegan, who owns a bakery, and Atlas, who owns the Leviathan gym, and he is a wolven?
A wolven?
Wolven. So he's basically a werewolf, except for they don't actually shift. He is fully in wolf form at all times. They do go a little cray-cray on the full moon, but it's mostly about fucking from what I've gathered in the book. Basically, they run into each other because she is trying to load up the wedding cake for the first, interspecies marriage, which is the mayor's daughter and a centaur. And she drops the lower tier because her helper was sick. And so he helps her clean it up because he's walking to work and everything. And they both really start to admire each other. And she decides to join the gym because she wants to see him more. It's cute. And he wags his tail every time he sees her. So yeah, there's kind of a little spark of the book. We got some author stuff.
All right. Our author, Ashley Bennett, is something of a new girl on the block when it comes to writing romance. She started during COVID-19 and decided that she wanted to dip her toe in, as they say. Big fan of coffee, candles, fall weather. So this is her season, right? And she also is a fan of good alien romance, complete with fancy peens. This is a direct quote from her website. I did not slander this fine human. Also, she has a Shopify with a lot of cool merch that references her books. So you can get yourself a Leviathan Fitness tank top on her Shopify. So check it out. She's also got stickers and bags and sweatshirts and all kinds of things. And of course, she's got her books and some art for her books. So that's fun too. So yeah, Ashley Bennett out here combining pumping iron and pumping iron.
That should be a direct quote.
Now we can get into the book. We've done all of the admin stuff. Now we can just chit chat.
Okay, let's chit chat about the book.
So this book is about Atlas, our wolven bro, and Tegan, this adorable bakery owner, and their meet cute on the street, as Danny described. What did you guys think of them as a couple?
I thought they were pretty cute. They fall for each other very quickly, as it do, especially in werewolf shifter kind of romances. They usually are pretty like, bam, we love each other. It doesn't so much bother me in the shifter romances as much. I know I kind of harp on sometimes that I'm like, they took no time to get to know each other, but I don't know, it didn't bother me. This was cute.
That was just the vibe of this book, is cute.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a little more forgiving with this book. One, because like you said, it is a werewolf romance. And a lot of times when they're that fated mate situation, it happens very, very quickly. And which kind of makes sense, right? If you think about it from a biological standpoint.
Yes.
If the purpose of that is to get you to procreate, they want you to get together now.
Yeah.
I also am a little bit more forgiving because on top of that, this is a very short book.
It is. It's a very short book.
And not just like it's short because it's 150 some pages. I think my Kindle said it was 170, but I was like, in what world? I got through this book in like probably 3 hours of good effort.
Yeah.
So Goodreads says it's 182, but again, I don't know how that could be because I've read other books that Goodreads says is 182, and those books will take me like 5-ish hours, and this book took me like 2.5-ish.
Yeah, same. Tentacles and Triathlons is I think like 200 is what my Kindle said. So maybe they get a little longer as they go. But I did really enjoy the like cozy feel of this book.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it got a little spicy. I did not expect that.
Well, and it jumped pretty quick.
Yeah.
To the
Yeah, it
spice.
did.
It is a low stakes book,
Yes.
right? So cozy, low stakes. Nothing world shattering is happening here, which means they have plenty of time for the fucking.
It's true.
And even lower stakes than a normal lower stakes one.
Yeah.
Like the stakes are they don't end up together. That's the stakes.
Yeah.
Right.
I want to say the only like big obstacle, which really isn't even portrayed as so much of an obstacle because they're like, fuck you, is her brother is a little racist against monsters.
That he is. Also, he comes in and is gone for a second. And that's I don't have a ton of gripes when it comes to this book. I actually genuinely felt like it did what it set out to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Problem the two like moments I had were back to back. I was like, the fuck. The entrance of the ex-girlfriend and the brother was very soap opera.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
we're a convenient plot device, nothing more. Hello, goodbye.
Yeah, they probably should have just like cut the brother out. I understand.
Yeah, it
that.
wasn't necessary.
I understand the author probably wanted to set up the next book and get you interested in the brother's book.
Yeah.
But for him to just show up and be like, I'm worried. And like, that's
Yeah.
that's his existence in this book.
Yes. Well, and also the ex, when she shows up, it's like, it doesn't make sense that you're here. Like,
No.
it just doesn't make sense. You wouldn't just show up randomly to your ex's business conveniently a day after he starts dating somebody. Like,
It's not a day. It's like a week.
is it? Because
Yeah.
By
that's
the time
not,
the ex shows up,
Yeah, it's like a week.
is it?
Because like they're together for like 2 weeks before the full moon hits, and the ex shows up like 2 days before the full moon.
I
Because
thought, I don't know. I thought that was the day after they fucked because she was sore.
maybe it was.
That's what, like, when I say this was a fast timeline, mine was like, this was a week. This happened over a fucking week.
Maybe I'm a little confused because I did read the second book as well.
Oh, that's fine. I'm just like, I'm pretty sure they did the deed. He was like, I still got to work out because my ex is a bitch and she's convinced me I'm fat. And she's like, for real, my guy? And he's like, for real. And
He
then
has a fucking 8-pack. I was like, ooh, I want to see. So weird question. It was the only thing that popped into my brain the first time they like described him. I was like, is his penis fuzzy?
I don't think so.
I don't
believe so. I don't, and this is before they had described his genitalia.
Mm-hmm.
It was just, she's describing like the fur on his thighs and stuff. And I'm like, but is he all fuzzy?
I did not enjoy the description of his penis because all I could envision is like an actual dog's penis.
You were envisioning a little red rocket?
And I was like, I don't want that. I don't want that.
The tube of lipstick?
Yeah, no, thank you.
I spent a not unsubstantial amount of time ignoring the descriptions of him. A wolf's fur isn't that soft. You know, things like that, where I was just like, if I think about this too much, I won't enjoy this book.
Wolves don't condition. I'm sure he conditions the fuck out of his fur. I don't know.
He does talk a lot about having to clean his fur, so he might be soft.
I guess. No, the other thing that had a hard time getting past with like the way he looked was the snout thing. I was like, it never goes away. It's always there.
Yeah.
You're always a wolf man, always. Yeah. All I can picture is the people who like open mouth kiss their dogs, you know? And I was like, I need to pretend you don't have a snout. It's not cute.
I kind of like it. It's something different. I genuinely enjoyed them as a couple, though. Like, his tail wagging made me so weirdly happy and fuzzy on the inside. And I'm like, I'm a dark and twisty person, and this is making me smile a lot.
The other thing, and this was sort of my beef with our guy, is the claws thing. Like, on one hand, okay, that was good. And then also he's like, I would like to go up the elevator, if you will. And he's like, but not until I clip these claws. And then that bitch never does. He never gets those claws clipped. And I'm like, sir, you don't get to have an out.
I mean,
get them claws clipped.
In his defense, a lot goes on in that 2 weeks.
It's true.
Feel like he probably does because he moves in with her almost immediately.
Yeah, he does.
Into their little cabin
they get
in
very
the woods.
Honeymoon level very quick, and it's gross. But
they're getting ready for the wedding in the second book.
Yeah.
Wow, that is quick. I mean, I get the whole fated mates thing, and conceptually as a person who would be looking for a romantic relationship to, I think we've talked about this before, to just fall into one where the other person is like immediately fucking super into you and you're super into them and you know it for a fact, like nobody's lying about how into each other they are. Like, I get it, but it's like you change your whole life in 2 weeks? That's too much.
Could not be me.
No, me neither. Although I want that cabin in the woods.
Her house?
Yeah.
I wanted more description of the house, if I'm being honest. I was like, oh yeah? What's the outside look like? Oh, how many rooms does it have?
I was gonna say, like, can I get like an in-depth
does it have
description of my little cottagecore dream, please?
Oh yeah, you tell me about that chimney.
I would love to live in a little cottage in the woods. That would be perfect for me.
As somebody who, hard tangent, as somebody who grew up, at least for a period of time, in a little dinky ass town that could barely even be qualified as a town, and you had to drive 10 to 15 minutes to get to town to like buy groceries or do anything, it is far more of a pain in the ass. Like literally, you could be at home ready to cook food and you're like, oh shit, I'm out of eggs. Well, tough. It's a fucking hour round trip to get eggs.
I don't want to live that far out of town. Like my family, we did live out in the country. After I turned about 13, we built a house in the country. But it only took about 15 minutes to get to town.
That's still too much. I like convenience.
The only thing, the time that it actually really annoyed me is because, like I said, we moved out there when I was 13. Well, guess what you can't do when you're 13?
Poop.
Drive.
I like
So
my answer better.
if
You can definitely poop when you're 13.
I had
No, if
the
you have to
ability
get your
to poop
poops,
at 13,
you gotta get the pooping license. So you guys loved her house. How did you guys feel about his house and all of the fucking baggage that came with it?
I would be
hated
like,
that.
bruh, are you complaining about being rich
Yes.
to my
I mean,
face? Mm-mm.
yeah, absolutely, he needs to chill out on the fact that, because I mean, he's wealthy, he is. But I understand not liking living in a place that reminds you of all of a bad place and everything. Also, that seemed very sterilized and just the decor and everything seemed very stark and modern, which is not my jam.
Yeah, but he could have redecorated.
Yeah.
He could have, yeah.
You know, I feel like that's some sad sack shit. Like, I'm just going to
true.
mope in this house that most people couldn't dream of affording and be like, I'm so sad because this house isn't my style. Bitch, fix it up then. Fix it up. Some of us can't make a goddamn down payment and therefore have to live in a fucking apartment. Not me. This is not a personal gripe.
Yeah, it's not a personal gripe at all. It's not me. Mm-mm.
Yeah, no, like, I'm sorry. If you have, the kitchen is what pissed me off. He's like, oh, I have this big old house. Like, I could see being like, this house is too big for me, and I feel very alone in it.
Yeah.
But like, bruh, you have a regulation kitchen.
Like a full chef's kitchen.
Fuck off. You know what makes me feel better? Food.
Yeah.
But he had a lot of shame around food.
He did.
It's true. He needed to unpack that shit.
There's just a lot of baggage that his ex left him with in general. Talking about food, this is such a minor thing, but it comes up in so many books and it drives me insane, where there is a date and there is dinner usually involved, and they like, oh man, I ate so much food. I had so much pasta. I ate so much this. And then immediately they go to the sex. And I'm like, nay, good sir. I need to process all of my food, baby.
You're gonna be
before
farting
sex.
a lot during that.
You're going to be
sex.
farting a lot during that sex. Yeah. Especially something as heavy as pasta.
That's why as soon as she said her favorite dish was shrimp scampi and he was going to make it for her, I'm like, well, then you ain't having sex tonight. Which they did. And I still am like, mm-mm.
That's the magic of
No.
a romance novel, I guess, is that you don't get bloated.
Right.
Just like all of the jiggling of all of that stuff in my belly. No, thank you.
But they did play with frosting.
They did?
For like a hot second.
Yeah.
They really like built it up, and I was like, oh, like how long is this?
What are we
Oh.
doing?
What are we doing, frosting?
Like you said you wanted to use all that frosting. You did not. There's no way. There's no way you used all the frosting.
She just
Liar.
put it on his knot, and that was it.
He put it on her nips.
Oh,
and,
that's
Yeah.
lying
true.
down her stomach.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
Still, there's a lot. She had 2 bags of icing.
Also, I gotta say, Tegan is very forward with what
Very.
she wants in the sexy times.
Mhm.
Good
Although
for her.
I gotta say, girl, you inspired me. We can just put chocolate all over a dick.
Well, I mean, she was the one who was like, all right, workout over, pants down.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I greatly appreciate the fact that she, was very forward with what she wanted and everything. However, I don't know that I would be willing to suck someone off in the middle of a gym.
I also have a gripe about that. She describes other partners she's been with, implying humans,
Mhm.
right? That their semen is bleach-like. I noted that and I was like, what the
That's a-
fuck?
That's actually a pretty common description.
I've clearly not been sucking that dick enough.
I'm just saying, like, that comes up a lot in books at the very least. It might be one of those things where it's a description that has just been perpetuated from book to book to book.
It's true.
I can't say I've ever had any that taste like bleach.
I don't focus on what they taste like because they don't taste good. No matter how many romance novels try to tell you that it tastes good, it doesn't.
Dude, they need to find a way to make semen taste like chocolate. That's all I'm saying.
Yep.
They gotta make a pill for that, right?
Come on. Like, listen, how many erectile dysfunction like pills are out there? Just make one of them make their dicks taste like chocolate. How hard is that? Come on, go the extra mile.
As long as we don't have the impulse to bite them.
Sacrifices have to be made.
That would be traumatizing for everybody involved.
Yeah, it would.
Could
Yes,
you
it would.
imagine all of the blood spewing
I was
into
gonna
your
say-
face?
Just picture, like when you try to bite a piece of meat and it's too tough to get through.
Uh-huh.
See, and what I'm picturing is like when Ozzy bit the bat. Because that was, I don't know if you guys know this, it was a complete and utter accident. He thought it was a fucking Halloween decoration, but it was a live bat.
Anyway, let's promptly move past that
Yep.
to a different topic.
What topic would you like to talk about, Liz?
I have a good one.
Okay, go for it.
We bitch a lot about people not having friends. She has friends.
She does have friends.
Friends are good.
They mattered a
Mhm.
little bit. I mean, it was a very short book, so they didn't have time to matter.
They
too
do
much.
come into the second book as well.
That's good. One line that I did really enjoy was, "We don't like men who receive but don't give. Thank you."
Yes.
Yeah.
This is facts.
Her
Like,
friends were very over the top.
They were. The relationship with her mother, however, is a little like, you gonna call your mom and talk about who you having sex with?
It's certainly not my relationship.
Well, I think that she was trying to talk about like an actual relationship, not like, hey, I'm fucking this wolven guy.
I don't know. Her mom asked her to take a picture.
Of
And
his
it
butt.
sounds innuendo-y.
I think she was kind of just trying to gauge her mother's reaction to the fact that maybe they were mates.
I'm just saying, it's giving, I'm not a regular mom. I'm a cool mom. It's giving that energy.
Meh. Some moms are cool.
I mean, some people have that relationship with their parents.
It's true.
It's a real thing, even though we don't.
I
Maybe.
have, not to that degree, but I have a good relationship with my mother. I can talk to my mother about a lot of things. We do not move into those kind of realms.
Well, that's what I'm not saying good or bad relationships. Some
Yeah.
people just talk about that kind of stuff with
Yeah.
their family.
I understand that I'm the odd man out, but like, I do not even do that with you guys.
I know.
Yeah, we know. It's fine.
I'm aware. Anyway, I liked her mom though, because
did
her
too.
mom could have easily been the stereotypical speciesist or racist, whatever
Yeah.
parent. And her mom was just like, hey, that's cool. She's reminding me of like a hippie mom from sitcoms and shit.
Yeah, she's got strong like art teacher energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, so I'm pulling a Liz because I read the second book. Her dad is an asshole.
Oh, goody.
Big asshole. He's dead, but like you get flashbacks of when her brother was a kid and like he made him go camping with him every month and stuff, and he's an ass.
Mm.
I'm like, okay, Tegan definitely didn't get anything from you because she's a kind soul.
She kind of, I don't know if this, she kind of has a misleading personality. Like she definitely gives off this, I'm a naive farmer's daughter energy.
That's what I was expecting.
Yeah.
I was expecting that, and that's not what I got.
No.
Which I'm okay with.
She said, listen, I know I've known you for 36 hours, but drop chow, my guy.
Yeah.
In this gym.
I kind of like that
has cameras right now.
I like the like sunshine people that have the like little bit darker, a little bit, raunchy side. I like that kind of character.
Well, I like the idea of bulldozing over stereotypes and saying like it's totally okay for the man to be shy and unsure and the woman to be like, listen, I like you, you like me, let's do the thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I also really enjoyed the fact that like it wasn't a man trying to fix her insecurities or anything. It was her trying to help him through his.
Mm-hmm.
Because she like doesn't have that many insecurities. Like she's a little insecure about her body and to a degree, but not really. Like she likes who she is.
Well, and I think that was something maybe there could have been a bit more in the book is her talking him through how she overcame her insecurities and accepted her body. Because that's where he is. That's why he works out every day at 4 a.m.
Yes.
Which sounds terrible.
Ew. Gross.
I'm sorry. If some trainer, I don't care how cute you are. I don't give no fucks how cute you are. If you tell me, hey, I'll train you every day at 4 a.m., I'll be like,
go
sorry,
fuck yourself.
bro.
I'm saying fat.
You can't look cute enough for me to do that.
Nope.
Oh, I think it's like the second chapter of the book or something like that, where he's like, 4 a.m. might seem obscene to some people. And I'm like, it is obscene, sir.
It is
obscene. Jesus Christ. There's not a single thing I care about enough to get up and work my ass off at 4 a.m. Mm-mm.
I have to go hunting.
That's
But
why
usually
that
is like 5, not 4.
I have no desire to kill Bambi anyway, but like I really, if you told me I had to get up at 4 a.m. to go do it, I'd be like, you are confused.
It's really tasty. That's the only reason that my dad can get me up to go hunting at 5 a.m.
Getting us back on track.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't just enjoy that she was the one who was comforting or coaching him through the process of finding a way to like your body, even if society doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
I also like the way that she describes her body.
Mm-hmm.
So she says, I caught a glimpse of my naked body in the mirror before pulling on my dress. My breasts were substantial, with light pink nipples and delicate streaks of white stretch marks. My waist was soft and round, with wide and thick thighs that rubbed together when I walked, also complete with bands of stretch marks. Girl same. It wasn't a perfect body, not by conventional beauty standards, but I loved and appreciated it. Loved and appreciated all of the things that it allowed me to do. It was strong, healthy, and it obviously called to the desires of an attractive wolfman. And I was like, see, like that's how you write plus size women without making it a thing of, oh well, she really just would rather be a thin woman. And it's like,
yeah, no,
fuck off with that shit. I'm so tired of reading. Like, so I'm reading this other book. I won't name it right now because I'll probably be done with it next week, and we'll be able to give you a final review of it.
Yeah.
But I started out fucking loving it. I was like, this is so funny. Like, I haven't laughed this much at a book in a really long time. And then it like got very fat phobic, and I was like,
oh
shit. and she's not even like, I don't think she's even like above a size 10 or something. So it's kind of like that Devil Wears Prada thing where it's like, oh, you're size 8, like that kind of thing. And I just wish more authors, like, if you're going to write about somebody's weight, it's okay for them to not be happy with it. But that doesn't mean you have to, like, write them as being just full of self-loathing.
Yeah. Yeah, I did appreciate that. Well, and the other thing is she doesn't mention that she's a plus size person all of the time, which is kind of my gripe with some books when it comes to the main female character being plus size, is they mention it all the fucking time. Whereas in this one, she really didn't. Like, she mentioned that she has stretch marks, that, you know, she's a little bigger and everything. But that's like one of the only times that it's mentioned in the entire book. And then he never comments on it or anything. He just is constantly saying how gorgeous she is, you know.
He is so in love with her body, which I like. As a larger woman, it's so great to like read somebody kind of like worship curves and worship softness and all of that. And he was, God, Alice was so fucking cute. I'm sorry, but this man, he was a big old cutie pie.
He is a big old cutie. The tail every time. The thump, 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 thump thing got me every single time. I'm like, oh, he's happy to see her.
Yeah. Well, and I think we've had enough media that exists that, like, tears down us voluptuous ladies. Like, I'm here for the shit that's like, hey, listen, you're fucking hot. I'm like, I will gobble that shit up.
Yeah.
Like, you could just put on the front of the book, he thinks that the plus size girl is hot, and I'd be like, buying it. Thank you. I'm in.
Well, and I do like that she's not the one who has dysphoria, body dysphoria. He does.
Right. Well, okay. So I can't say never, but I've not experienced this phenomenon at the rate that is described online. But apparently it's like a very common thing for gym bros to be into plus size girls.
From what I've heard as well online, yes, absolutely.
Damn, we need to get you guys some gym memberships.
We need to get Wig the gym membership. I don't
will not
want
be
a
getting
relationship.
up at 4 a.m.
Yeah, but you got a wingman. You got a wingman.
You just want to get me fucked?
Oh, no. Wingman for her.
Oh.
You wingman her.
I'm a terrible wing woman.
Damn it. I'm a great one. All right, I'm in. I'll get you both fucked.
This is how we start our bodybuilding careers right now.
I am constant.
It's all in the name of getting us fucked.
Like, getting me to, like, talk to some random person. I'm just like, I would like to evaporate into the floor, please.
Oh, I also hate it. But if the focus is not about me and I am just, like, there to be a vehicle for them to pay attention to somebody else, that's fine. Like, I can do that.
I'm so awkward. I'm just like, I'm sorry, you're talking to me? Why are you talking to me? You're not somebody of my people. You're not one of my peoples. Go away.
You're so pleasant.
I know.
I will say, I don't know how Tegan managed to, like, she was just like on it. Like, she also kind of had that anxiety about flirting. She was like, I don't know, guys.
Right.
It seems pretty fucking weird. And I was like, yes, I'm with you. We're simpatico. And then she was like, fuck it, I'm going to do it. And I was like, this is where our paths diverge.
Right.
I did like the texting.
Oh, I loved the texting.
Because it also felt very real of like, wait a minute, is he flirting? Am I flirting? What's happening? Why are there so many emojis? What do they mean?
100%.
Yes, I hate emojis.
Oh, I love emojis.
I never use
what
them. I always laugh because, like, people send, like, the little acronyms or whatever that I should, as a millennial, I did have a cell phone, like, starting in high school and everything. I should understand the little things. I do not.
You mean like ATM, LOL?
Well, LOL I understand. But pretty much any other one, I'm like,
oh no.
I don't know what that means.
So when we were in college, for some reason, the phrase was do it for the lulz.
Do it for the lulz.
And my dumbass thought that it was not the LOLs, but was in fact the lulz in conversation.
Oh my god. I love you so much, Wiggles.
I was like, because I was like, oh, so that you don't have lulls in conversation. I get it.
I like that phrase was essentially our version of YOLO before YOLO existed.
It's true.
Oh, man.
But yeah, like I don't understand those at all. And it's gotten me in trouble before because I'm like, what does that mean?
Just Google it.
I do.
Sometimes, though, the Google doesn't know either.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about our wolf guy, his friends.
Atlas? Oh, which friend?
Well, so this is why I need to bring it up because it bothers me.
Mm-hmm.
So Fallon, what animal is he?
He's
a griffin. Oh, sorry, that obviously didn't answer the question.
No, it suddenly things have all clicked into place.
Oh, okay.
I was picturing a chicken.
That's because Atlas calls him a chicken.
He calls him a chicken all the time.
So when I read "You can't be here," Fallon stepped closer and he furred the tip of his feline tail, thrashing from side to side in agitation. I was like, "How the fuck is a chicken doing this?" I was so confused.
No, he's a griffin. Although, like, yes, he's a griffin, but for some reason my brain was like Aarakocra.
My brain envisions an Aarakocra as well.
I just pictured like a really big chicken. Like legitimately the head movements.
Did you envision a crest and everything?
Yeah. Like literally a fucking chicken. And then my second gripe was going to be like, male chickens are fucking roosters, right? Why are you calling him a chicken?
Because he was trying to be insulting.
Oh, so yeah, I had a different reading experience of that character. I took the wolfman at his word. Shouldn't have done that. Yeah. Okay. Well, I retract my gripe then.
Okay. You no longer have a problem with him.
Yeah, now it all makes sense. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's fine.
I love Fallon. He cracks me up. He is heavily involved in the second book because he is the roommate of the Kraken.
I think the fourth book is also his book.
Mm.
Yeah, it's called Griffin and Gaines.
Nice.
I bet it's a lot sexier with a griffin than a chicken.
I'm sure it is.
What was the name of the orc bro? Because I wanted more of him in the book. Kale?
Yeah, I read it as Kale.
I read it as Kale as well.
Yeah. I don't know why. I think I might have a thing for orcs in books. And I haven't read an orc book before, and I know I need to get on it. But the more that they show up in these monster books, I'm like, maybe I like orcs.
Is the third book his?
No.
I know it's a centaur thing, I think.
It's the Minotaur lady.
Minotaur, okay.
Is maybe, and hear me out, is maybe you're thinking about orcs, slightly a little bit Critical Role related.
I mean, it's maybe possible if they all can sound like Travis from Critical Role. Then yeah, it'd be great.
I mean, yeah, yeah. Why you gotta call me out like that, Wiggs?
Just hypothesizing. That's all. I'm not suggesting anything.
You insult me quieter, goddammit.
Can I say my one gripe about this book?
Yeah.
And not like the nitpicky, like, oh, this like tiny little moment. Maybe I had thoughts about how they could have so much sex after so much pasta. I don't think it's possible comfortably, but.
Well, because it's not.
No. Anyway, my major gripe is just that the writing was a bit juvenile or fan fiction-y.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do think that contributes to the cozy feeling a little bit, but I understand what you're also saying.
I think that you and I are kind of talking about the same thing when I say that like some of it felt very soap opera-y.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when the X shows up, I know I have in fact read that verbatim in a fan fiction before.
Mm-hmm.
Of just like I'm going to show up and I'm going to deliver all of this plot and I'm just there for you to hate me. And it's like, my gripe with that is that there were so many other ways that you could have delivered the same information and not have it be so used and abused and like turn her into a two-dimensional character.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing that could have happened is bring her in as I know there's not like a major villain in this one. It's much more cozy than that. But if you turned it around and she came back and caused an issue later on, that maybe would make it a little less soap opera-y.
Yeah, like maybe she's there because they have not split assets appropriately and she wants to take the gym, right?
Honestly, that's what my first thought was too, and I was thinking this the entire time he was describing this house. I was like, what situation were you guys in when you bought this house? Because there might be some questionable like ownership things here.
Right.
Yeah.
And okay, so I'm also just really tired of my ex is crazy trope.
Yeah.
I'm kind of done with that. Was she crazy or did you make her crazy? Because yes, you seem like a very nice guy, but I've also known a lot of people who seem very nice on the outside and on the inside are manipulative as fuck. I don't know. If an ex shows up like that gun-ho that I want to fuck your shit up, I'm kind of like, that's a little bit of a red flag for me.
Well, it is, but also like I have known people's relationships where one person acts like that.
That is also true. That is also true. But then you kind of go, okay, you picked that.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you picking me? Because clearly you're not following your type with one of us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I suppose.
I mean, on the other side of that, she was a wolven.
True.
So, I mean, this is the first human he's dated.
Mm.
Did they say in the book how long he and the ex whose name I don't remember were together?
I feel like it was... I know that they've been broken up 6 months. He says that a couple times.
Yeah.
But it feels like he was under her thumb for a while.
Yeah.
I want to say
she
at
did
least
a
a couple
lot
years.
of emotional damage.
Yeah.
And they bought... I mean... I get the impression he flat out bought the house. She didn't have anything to do with the purchase of anything. I think that's why he got to keep everything, because she didn't have anything to do with the actual purchase. He purchased it to be what she wanted. But it takes quite a while to emotionally abuse somebody to the extent that he was.
Well, he did have some of the body dysmorphia, from his childhood, what he said. So she could easily have just manipulated that more.
Yeah, and made it worse.
Also, if you've been together for years and you have that much baggage, 6 months might not be enough time.
True.
To chill off.
Again, this is not uncommon for that fated mates trope.
Yeah,
right?
That
where
is true.
It
that is
melts
where
everything
I
else away.
Lose a little bit of my gripe on that one, because the fated mates, I do kind of forgive a lot of that like quickness stuff, because if it is a biological thing, which in most like shifter romances, werewolf romances and stuff, it is portrayed as being an actual biological part of their existence. It's not just like a feeling.
Well, and this one follows the Omegaverse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with that, he never calls her Omega, she never calls him Alpha, but it's implied, right?
Yeah.
And so,
which is shocking to me, because I don't normally like the Omegaverse
well,
anything.
I've read a few things that I'm okay with. It really just comes down to how like excessive it is into the like alpha, beta, Luna stuff.
Yeah, I've definitely read some ones that I was like, the fuck did I just read? And absolutely, like I stopped. It was done. I'm done.
I mean, it did throw me off on the first of the Stay a Spell series. The name of the wolf, because they're like two souls in one body kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
The name of the main character's wolf is Alpha, and I was like, oh no. Oh no. Are we going down this road? And then you kind of do, but it's slightly different.
It's also done in a lot of fun. Like it's almost making fun of it.
Yeah. See, and I kind of like the like I'm an alpha male thing when it comes to like shifter romances and everything. It's just when it gets to like a certain level that I'm like, and I'm done. No more.
My biggest gripe with that, and this bothers me every fucking time, is somehow they are always the most alpha.
Yeah.
You know, like they're like, I'm the alpha of the most powerful pack in the country.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I am the like king alpha. It's like, it's just so cringy. And I'm like, anytime somebody needs to call themselves the most of anything or the best of anything, I'm like, nope, I'm out. Like, it just immediately tells me that there's something about you that isn't great.
Yeah.
Getting back to this book, though, since we're on the like alpha shiftery stuff, what did you guys think of that full moon scene?
Oh, I liked the full moon scene. I wanted more.
I wanted more.
I think
was
that's
like,
my gripe with it. Yes,
yeah.
is that they teased us a bit, if you will.
The chasing, I was like, oh, hello. Yay.
Mm-hmm.
I do feel like some of the sex scenes in this, I was like, you got to ramp it up, man. Like, you started strong in the gym with the blowjob scene. And then I'm like, you got to keep building. And that full moon scene, I was like, give me more.
Yeah, I wanted
Don't
it
be
to
afraid. Give me more.
I wanted it to be longer. I did really appreciate the fact that he was concerned for her safety because he wasn't sure how he would react under the full moon, and so like made precautions.
Well, and also there is the mate thing, which they were both kind of like, especially him, kind of unsure about. But also, she's human.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you can go to town maybe on another wolven, but you don't know.
Yeah, you don't know how much you're going to hurt her or anything.
Right.
So, like, I did really appreciate the fact that while he didn't think he was going to hurt her, he did not take it out of the possibilities and took precautions by having his friends there within earshot, not watching. He made that very specific, not watching. And they gave her a safe word so that she could call it off at any moment and they would come and stop.
I just think if I was that friend, while I would understand and probably, yes, do the, like, I don't know, bodyguard stand watch thing, I would be like, afterwards, I'd go, man, you fucking owe me big.
Yeah.
And
oh, yeah.
how?
I'm sorry.
Although Fallon's apparently a bit of a voyeur, so
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
So he was probably like, yeah, this is going in the spank bank for later.
Fallon's kind of a fuckboy.
Yeah.
He is.
Which makes more sense as a griffin than as a chicken.
Indeed it does.
I was just like, why is there a pervy chicken in this story?
Oh, no.
Yeah. Two different experiences. That's all I'm saying. So one thing I want to talk about is how it seems like it's impossible for Atlas to ever just not have a hard on. Like, throughout this entire book, he's like, she looked at me, boing. She sighed, boing. She ate food, boing. Like, he's just constantly popping boners throughout the entire book.
Doesn't they didn't say it in the book, but isn't that a pretty common thing with the fated mate trope?
Yeah, it is. Some books don't mention it very often, but others are like, well, she sighed in my direction. I now have a boner.
And if you're wearing fucking gym shorts,
Oh yeah, that thing
man,
is on
it's
full
Erler.
display.
Well, at one
He
point,
tucks it into his waistband.
Yes. And I'm like, that can't feel good.
No.
I don't know, but I feel like I know that's
The second
not
he
good.
said it, I was like,
I feel like
feel
that
like
would
that
be
would
like
chafe.
pulling your sweatpants up over your titties.
I was thinking more of like a is it dancer's belt is what it's called? The things that the boys would have to wear in the theater to hide the junk.
something I never needed to be reminded of.
Oh, god damn. But yeah, I mean, like he says, my dick was hard. Watching her eat did things for me. And I was like, bro, can a girl just like exist? My god.
Hey, when you got it
they're
bad, you
still
got
in-
it bad.
I guess.
They're still in their honeymoon phase.
They're in their beginning to know each other phase.
Yeah. And she
Sometimes that's-
sucked his dick in a gym.
I do have one other gripe.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's a minor one, but it's still I was like, no. He says he like is talking about what she's wearing. I think this is in the full moon scene. And he's like, he describes her as wearing a bralette, and I was like, no, there's not a man on this planet who could tell the difference between a bra and a bralette. I don't believe it for one goddamn second.
I half the time can't tell the difference between those two things.
Same.
Yeah, I was
and I own one.
No.
Like,
if it wasn't from his perspective, it would be fine. But like, no, sir, no, there's no way. There's no way you can tell. Mm-mm.
Isn't she also like well endowed up top?
Yeah.
So
bralettes do not work for us well endowed people.
Well, they call them bralettes, but they're really what normal people are like calling a bra.
So in my mind, I think maybe he just doesn't know what he's talking about, and she wasn't wearing a bralette.
Where did the thought come to him? Bralette. This must be a bralette.
You know, there's women in the gym too.
It's
they
true.
Could be talking about
he
shit.
has female friends.
Okay. Challenge accepted then. Next time we see the guys, ask them if they know what a bralette is.
Done.
Oh yeah.
I have a question on the note of boobs.
Yeah.
They described his ex, who was a wolven, as having nice titties.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why, but my brain says no to that.
Do you not like the thought of fuzzy titties?
No, I just like it reminds me too much of the classic, oh, let's just slap boobs on anything when we're talking about characters, like whether in video games or anime or whatever. And I'm like, why would she have mammal? Like, I mean, she's still a mammal, but like, why would she have big old titties?
Well, and why would she have humanoid single set titties? Why would she not have several?
Well,
he doesn't have multiple sets of nipples either.
Right. And it could just be, well, that's how their monster forms are. But I don't know
nipples
why.
At all, should he?
Yeah.
Male wolves have nipples, Wigs.
Yeah.
They do?
Yes.
Do
male dogs also have nipples.
So do male cats.
So do male cats.
Why?
Why do men's have nipples, Wigs?
I don't know. I've just never thought about it until this moment, and now I've got to process something. I literally never put any thought behind whether or not animals that have nipples.
Mammals have nipples.
Well, yeah, it makes sense for female animals to have nipples.
Why would humans be the only mammals that the males had nipples?
Because we do a lot of weird shit, like walk on 2 feet.
Okay. I'm not laughing at you. I understand why this
I
would never be
makes
something
sense.
that would come up in your brain.
Male monkeys have nipples.
Yes,
I'm more laughing at how outraged you are at this.
Yes, you are incensed about the fact that
I don't know why this is a thing. I don't like it.
I can attest that male dogs have nipples. I've only ever had male dogs.
I don't know why this is registering for me right now.
Okay, well, how about we just move past it, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
Things you learned at nearly 36.
I am turning 35.
Oh, that's right. I'm so sorry. I'm old.
Yeah. Take that, Danny.
I hurt myself entirely there.
I think we hit all of my major notes here. So,
what about you, Wiggs?
Most importantly, why does the woman have human? How does the wolven human person have the human titties? Why the titties on the thing?
Why does he have abs? It doesn't make sense. The math ain't mathin'.
Well, I mean, he is a bipedal creature, so he probably would have abs.
Whenever we start talking about humanoids, I get confused. And I think that's been made abundantly clear throughout this podcast. I don't get it. I don't understand. Why are they like this?
My least favorite is when there is like a snake person and like it's all snake, but they still have titties. And I'm like, that is a reptilian. They ain't got no titties.
Yeah, I don't like that either. I'm like, no, that's not how that works.
That's the patriarchy, bitches.
Like, if you're going to have somebody with like a human up, like torso up.
Sure, then they have titties.
They have titties. That's completely understandable. And then the snake bottom, bit of a waist, but fine. But
which part's the waist? The snake bottom?
Yeah.
They still have a slit. where things go in or come out, depending on which sex they are.
I don't
Indeed.
like the word slit.
Okay, but I just edited Ensnared, and you literally said the words, punch him in the slit.
Yep, that's correct.
You said that in that one? You also said it in the fucking Assault to Keep about punching in the scene.
Apparently they need to get it up and in.
Up and in.
Up and
Grab
in.
and twist.
Yeah, that's literally what you said, is I'm going to punch him in the slit, go up and in. And that's, I listened to it like 4 times while editing and died a little inside while laughing.
Listen and learn.
Apparently we need to protect the slits from the wiggles.
You hear that? If you're out there, make sure you got your slit protected. Wiggles is just punching.
Put that chastity belt on, boys. Wiggles is coming for you. I only have 2 other potential notes, Danny.
Go for it.
Okay. So I thought that the dirty talk was pretty good.
Yeah.
But anytime something like this, it's not specific to this book. It's just like anytime it shows up in any book. I don't even want to say it. God damn it. You're such a little monster fucker, baby. I'm like instantly pulled out. Just sucked immediately out.
See, it never bothers me.
It didn't bother me, but it wasn't like the phrase for me. It was just like, okay, that exists.
My exact response was, well, not with that attitude, sir. I won't be.
You will not like the second book then, because it's said often, because he also is getting over prejudices and stuff.
I don't know why. Can't do that kind of shit. Also, it's not in this book, but like in some of them where I think it was like in the himbo where they were like, cum slut. I was like, anytime I hear that, I'm immediately grossed out. Like just no.
See, and I'm not, but maybe I have a little bit of a degradation thing.
It's to each their own. It's just not for me. And then, of course, we must end with all that tail, none of that action.
What is he going to do with a fluffy tail?
I don't know.
You
Figure
can't
it out.
do anything with that.
Listen, if people can use feather dusters for sex, you can figure out how to use a fluffy tail. That's all I'm saying.
Valid, but like the normal tail action that we be talking about is like a prehensile tail.
Yeah.
And smooth and not furry.
I'm just saying.
So
it is what it is.
Let's roll back this comment about feather dusters. All right. So feather dusters are typically used to like tickle and stuff, especially like if the woman receiving like either like the chest or the downstairs region.
Mm-hmm.
So you want this fucking wolven man to back his ass up and fucking wag his tail
clearly
on her
long
titties.
Enough that it's like thumping on things. He could just pull it over.
You can't pull it over. It's not like down to his fucking knees.
I don't know. I
that
picture
long.
Like it's it's like an arm. It's like an appendage out there.
He can't control it. It's not prehensile.
Yeah. He doesn't control his tail.
That's a personal problem.
That's okay.
Alrighty then.
Listen, I don't know. Like you invited me into this world of madness and expected me to stay sane, and that was your mistake.
I just love how you latch on so hard to things that are not
important.
No, like physiologically possible. Or you're just, really upset with how somebody's dick looks. Because you're like, where's it going to go?
I'm upset with how the dick looks.
But then when we explain to you how he can't do that with his tail, you're
Listen.
like, he can. No, he can't.
He cannot do it.
Listen, if you're gonna make me continue to read about monsters and their weird fucking anatomy that don't make no sense, you're gonna continue to have these questions.
In our defense, we have more monsters right now because Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
Although, admittedly, this one will be coming out long after Halloween, won't it?
Mid-November.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's fine. You just have to deal with the questions, comments, and concerns.
I love the questions, comments, and concerns.
I have a lot of concerns, but I've talked about those ad nauseum.
I will say that I think because it is going to be a series, it is a series so far and everything, I think there is the potential for some pretty good world building within it.
Oh, yeah. There was a lot of questions I had about the monsters and the universe and the everything. And we just didn't talk about it. Or like the author didn't talk about it in the book. And so I just accepted that I wouldn't have no idea what this world is.
She didn't do a whole lot of like sussing out more of it in the second book. But I will say that there is the potential there for some decent world building and everything. And she does have the involvement of like Tegan. You find out in the next book that like Tegan's best friend is the sister of a guy that Reese works with. And that, you know, the main male character, Sai, who is Reese's love interest, is roommates with Kai. And so it's, you know, it's kind of one of those, at least, you know, they're all kind of intermixed into each other. And I always kind of like that situation.
All right. Well, let's just go ahead and get our sexy ratings out of the way. Danny.
I'm going to go with a 3.
Okay.
I liked the sexiness. I could have done with more on the full moon scene. They kind of hyped that up a little bit more, but then like didn't give me all of the cake. And I was a little upset about it. But I did that. The sexy that they gave us was good and well written. And yeah.
Liz.
I really got to go back and see what I've rated other things, because I feel like my initial reaction was to say 2.5. And that's just because I want more description. I want you to build it up. I want you to like, you know, go through the motions of telling me all of the things. So I think I'll stick with a 2.5. Yeah. What you got, Wiggs?
I think I'll agree with Danny at a 3. It's, you know, it's got some spice, but it's not like the craziest of spice that we've read. But it's also mostly spice.
That is true.
So, yeah. You know, do with that what you will.
What about your romance rating then?
Eddie says a 4.
Eddie says a 4? Okay, well, Danny says a 4, actually. I liked their relationship. I thought they were cute.
I was going to say a 3.5, so very close. Overall. What you got for your overall?
I gave it a 4. I liked the cozy, easy read of it, too. Sometimes I really like just like a short little easy, happy read where everybody gets an orgasm and a happy ending.
You get an orgasm. You get an orgasm. I gave it a 3. I feel like it's pretty solidly at a 3 for me. Like, and it's a good 3, but I wanted it more fleshed out, and I wanted the world to be a little bit more not just because I say it is. Right. I wanted it to have a reason. And ultimately, some of the writing, like we kind of talked about, was just really chunky, and it could have been cleaner.
I also gave it a 3, and basically for the same exact reasons that you did, Wiggs. So I won't reiterate it.
I was feeling cute.
No, like it's definitely a book where if you want kind of that quick hit of like cute and spicy and a little monstery, then this would be great for you.
It was definitely far spicier than I thought this book was going to be. I was thinking like a cute little happy fun read, and then it got spicy quick for a second there. I was like, oh, all right.
You guys told me that this was not going to be spicy, and I was like 10% in, and I almost wanted to text you and say, you lie. You lie so much to me. But anyway, that leads us to recommendations. Who's got one?
So I will definitely say Legends and Lattes. Legends and Lattes is not spicy, but it has the like happy fun time chillness of it. And then I know it's a bit of a cop out, but Tentacles and Triathlons, the second book in this series, which I highly recommend.
So I don't have a great recommendation for this that like checks off all the boxes or anything. So I'm just going to recommend one that kind of is related. In that there's a shifter romance thing. Although I guess he's not a shifter. He just is a wolfman.
Yeah.
But whatever. And then the book that I'm going to recommend is Not Your Ex's Hexes, which is the sequel to Not the Witch You Wed, which we talked about That's our first episode. So it's very fun. I almost liked it even more than Not the Witch You Wed, which is pretty rare that the sequel is like, hey, god damn, I'm really thinking I like that one more. So yeah, that's what I got.
I'm surprised that you're not recommending the first in the Stay Spell series.
Maybe you should.
I already got my recommendations. I got 2 already.
Well, I already made my recommendation, so.
Okay. My recommendations are first, the book Ensnared by the Werewolf by Lillian Lark. That is a novella. So if you thought this was short, that is even shorter. But it's about a werewolf, who is trapped in this half shifter state. So he looks pretty much exactly like the main character in this book here, our Atlas bro. And he goes to a witch to try to get the curse broken, and they get it down. They get together, as you can imagine. So it's super short. I think it's like 80 some pages or something like that.
But I do love Lillian Lark.
And then this time I get to have the weird, wacky recommendation.
Ooh.
My second recommendation is actually a video game, and it's called Monster Prom, which is a dating sim video game. I know you can get it on Switch and Steam. I don't know about any other consoles. And it is this, it's set in a high school, but it's very clearly stated that nobody is high school aged because they couldn't be and get away with some of the shit that they have in there, because they talk about all sorts of raunchy stuff. You don't see anything, but they talk about like drugs and like murdering people and then getting down. But it's really funny. Like it's all done in this super funny way. And the wolfman that you can date in it is kind of a himbo. So
nice.
There you go.
All right.
Alrighty then.
So here we are at the end again.
So if you liked this episode, you can find us out on the socials at Wrong Dust Jackets, primarily on Instagram, TikTok, and Pinterest. Or you can just go to our website at wrongdustjackets.com. Please give us a like, give us a review, a rating, send us your thoughts and your comments. We'd love to hear from you, or even get some recommendations from you. That's all I got, folks. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Thank you.